And so he's done everything in the building, from like building wooden barrels to kitchen utensils to building houses.
Okay.
So I've got that passion from him.
So he influenced you into the construction area.
Yeah, definitely. I still remember being maybe 4 or 5 years old, sitting in his lap, and he handed me this handheld planer where you take the bark off the trees.
Oh yeah,
and he was just like showing me how to take the bark off. And as he was carving everything out of the wood, I was looking at it. I was very inspired. I was like, I want to grow up. I want to do something with that.
Yeah.
So out of high school, I dropped out at one point. Just to pursue I really wanted to make money, I wanted to get into construction, So again, it's a typical thing for
Did your parents approve? Or?
No, they did not.
Okay.
They made me, half a year I was out. They made me go back, and they're like, at least get your diploma.
Okay, so you made a rebellious teen choice.
Yeah.
Your parents didn't approve, and you were
I was like,
persuaded to go back.
I was like, I'm gonna do homeschool, and again, homeschool half a year flew by. There was, there was nothing out of that. So I went back, and during that time, when I was back at school, I got my first job was as a newspaper. I was
newspaper carrier?
Yeah, I was delivering newspaper.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I guess that's the Slavic experience.
Yeah, that was interesting because I didn't know any English back then, and the person that handed me this position is like, just you got to know where to place your newspaper, because some older folks, they wanted to place in specific places, on a chair, this and that, and I didn't know. At first, it was hard to figure it out. Again, it's like new culture, no English, and
this is when you were 14.
Yeah. And sometimes you throw it in the wrong place, and then you get complaints. I don't know if you get those. At one point, I've received like 13 complaints in one day. And so then I come to find out they took my route and they give it to somebody else. Basically got fired.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So during high school, I was doing like after school, going out and doing some construction work. And then
where? With who?
So my brother, he was older, and so he got into doing flooring. He was laying down linoleum.
So you're working with your brother.
So I was going out with him and helping him out on the weekends and after school.
So it was all under the table, not official employment. Because I'm thinking, how's a teen employed in construction? Okay.
Yeah, then when I turned legal age, I think it was, I don't know, old enough to be working at a grocery store. Went to do my, again, very, very little English. And for me, the hardest thing was to talk to the customers, and because of the language barrier. Yeah, and I remember stocking shelves, and people would come up to me and ask me for something, like, "Where's this item?" And I've learned few phrases, so I would go in and say, "Let me go and ask the front." So I've learned that phrase. By the time I get by the time I get to the front, I forget what they were asking me for. So I'm like, I can't go back because they're waiting over there. So where do I go? I go to the bathroom. So I sit there for 30 minutes. I come back around. I'm like, hopefully they're not tripping on my cart, because it was right there in the hallway when I was stocking the shelves. I come back and that person's still there. He's like, so did you find out? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, sorry, let me go find out.
Again,
I'm making
some adventures.
Yeah. So then the manager called me, and she's like, and another thing too, there's like, you gotta smile when you talk to customers. But Slavic culture, we were not really
that was such
smiling
a big
a lot.
Change for us as well.
Yeah. So she's like, if you don't smile, I can't have you out in public. So they put me in the back, stuck in the freezer. So, and when you open the fridge and you got all this milk and everything, and so somebody opened the fridge and they were going to grab something from the shelf, and it was a last item. I think it was maybe some kind of a milk or something. And they're like, they see me back there. He's like, do you have any more of this? I'm like, let me go check the back. No, I'm like, check the back. I'm already in the back. But
your go-to phrases.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, again, So it was just a lot of this going on growing up, and
sounds like a lot of challenges.
Yeah,
which is good.
Getting through the language barrier.
In the formative years.
Yeah. But I was very eager to learn. I was very ambitious. Soon as I got out of the high school, started doing siding and then moved on to floor, and it rained a lot over there. So doing siding was very hard because it's always raining and you're out there and you're wet, soaking wet every day coming in home. So it's like gotta switch something. So got into laying carpet, and there's a story on that. But anyway, knew nothing about laying carpet. And long
so you're
story,
just gonna wing it?
Long story short, me and my brother were like, well, let's figure out how to lay carpet. We went and saw somebody for a couple hours. We're like, okay, I think it's simple enough. So we went, and my brother had a friend who was working at the flooring store at that time, and he was, because of those connections, we were able to get a carpet job. So we load up this giant roll of carpet in a van. We're driving on the freeway, doors open in the back, and
it didn't fit.
It didn't fit, yeah. And we're just rolling. We're like looking at each other. We're like, we have no idea what we're doing, and we're like, we're gonna do it, and we have no idea what we're doing.
That's what I love about the Slavic spirit.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We'll figure it out.
And so we got there, and obviously cut the carpet the wrong way. We were short. We were like going through a lot of struggle.
Disaster.
Yeah, trying to get that done. 3 days later.
Первый блин комом. That's it. Первый блин комом.
Yeah. 3 days later, we finally finished that job, and later, as we went doing more and more of these kind of jobs, that kind of job took us 6 hours as we learned how to do it. But the first time was like 3 days, and there was a lot of issues there, but we got past that.
Yeah.
And then I got into flooring business. Had a flooring company, grew my flooring company to like 30 crews.
Wow. Very impressive.
Yeah.
Where did your ambition come from?